This article, it's the second of a series that me and Artur Matuk we have written together. So that's the second one, and it seems we have a third just coming, right, Artur?
Yes, of course, yes.
Yes, the idea is quite simple, indeed very interesting. It's about the possibility of machines becoming communicative and artistic devices. So in this article, we try to gather information about experiments and theories that treat, that consider both approaches, meaning have some researchers try to program machines to become able to communicate with people, human beings, and how are they doing related to programming machines to become artists. In both ways, we are looking for machines that can cooperate with human and eventually to function by themselves in a very autonomous way. So the most interesting thing here is try to think on machines, programs, sometimes robots, that means machines with their all body, that can enter in a relationship, in a cooperation relationship with human beings to communicate, what we call to express themselves, either communicating, either in an artistic way. So that makes sense with the research Artu have been doing for quite years by now, because Artu Matuk is very interested in what he have been calling meta authorship, or even e-authorship, electronic authorship, or meta authorship, or meta writing. So my research in the doctorate and then in the postdoctorate in the communications department was about the possibility of how to say, the possibility of envisaging what I have been calling artificial communication, or to put differently, artificial communicators. What does mean? Well, I give you an example. How the computer scientists have been modeled and programmed software devices to interact with humans. For example, the Apple's Siri, or the softwares that they are have been programmed in cars. So you can interact vocally. Sometimes you can even make questions and obtain replies. We're just starting right now. So the point is, how able are these machines to dialogue with us in a very meaningful sense? So some Japanese enterprises are putting in the market what they called elderly companion. That means robots that can help older people in daily tasks. So the question is how to program those machines, not only to communicate vocally, orally, but to recognize gestures and requirements and necessities, and if another person is choking, how to ask for help, and so on. And the same can be said about the machines that can be used not only as a tool to produce art, but as an co-author. A good example, and I'm not following, as you can see, I'm not following the slides, as I can come back later, but machines like Araon from that, just a second. Well, I should probably come back to these slides. So I'm not seeing them from here. Are you seeing these slides or? Are you seeing just me or my slides as well? I'm not sure.
Aqui nós estamos vendo só apenas o teu rosto.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I should leave these slides aside anyway.
You have to share your screen. Actually, you have to just click on the button of sharing.
Actually, I would prefer just talking freely. And I would like to come back here and talk about this. For example, in the communications departments, we don't have lots of researchers preoccupied in how to model communication in order to be programmed into machines. So what we are really interested in is in looking for models of communications between human beings alone. But when you go to the computer science departments, they are really preoccupied, and they have worked a lot in how to model, and not really model, but how to program communication into machines. And here we have discovered some very interesting things. The first one is that they are programming machines not with the preconceived communication models, but they are other programming machines to learn by themselves how to communicate. And that's quite interesting, because what we have seen, it's are machines that can be learned to communicate in a very autonomous way. So communication is a byproduct of the relationships between machines or between machines and human beings. So it evolves by itself. It's not programmed, written in the programming, in the software, but it's reached, attained by the behavior, which that's very interesting. So they have been programming robots, machines, and softwares to interact with people, to judge how this mutual behavior progresses, and then to adjust their feedback to humans in order that in the end they will be communicating. It's quite interesting. So coming back to the artistic machines, we have this first very interesting concept that is called artificial creativity. And, we have already some articles that deal with the possibility of programming creativity into machines. And in this article, we have shown how some machines or how some softwares have been capable of, and now I'm quoting, They can design Palladian villas, prairie houses, Baroque fugues, modern jazz, drawings of acrobats, story plots, 3D silicon chips, or chemical molecules. So some machines have been producing music, sculptures, drawings, canvas, and other kinds of artistic objects, let's say this way, and sometimes in a very autonomous and independent way, meaning that sometimes they are so independent that people is already discussing whether a machine could have or not copyrights over its production, instead of the copyrights being given to his programmer, for example, or to his owner, for example. Actually, this was the object of our first article, the possibility of granting patents and copyright and liability to machines. So, if we can imagine machines becoming more and more autonomous in a way that with generative algorithms, some machines have been capable of rewriting its own softwares in a way of evolving to a totally different entity in the end, meaning that machines have been evolving in a very unexpected and non-predictable way. So we're talking about machines that, how to say this, that it's becoming independent from its creator, the humans. So in a way that we can ask, what happens if a machine says something offensive to a human being through internet, for example? Who is liable? And what happens if a machine produces something very worthy, valuable in the market, like some canvas, etc.? Who is supposed to benefit from it? So in this, so we're talking about two different things here. The benefits that can obtain from those machines works, and at the same time the opposite. Whenever a machine can hurt or can can jeopardize human beings. So some artificial artists, we have given some example of some artificial artists. For example, poetry generators. Totally, one of the references discusses eight poetry generators, machines that make poetry. And then another machine is able to generate short, dreamlike narratives. Another one introduces a program that tells stories. Other references work with the literary machines. And a very interesting one evokes a project to build an internet robot that could automatically generate books and upload them as ebooks to Amazon